People have spent years saying 40 caliber Glocks were just too snappy, too outdated, too hard to shoot well. But then Glock quietly changed these. Today, we're comparing the Glock 22 Gen 5 MOS and the Glock 23 Gen 5 MOS. Both of these chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. One of these genuinely surprised me enough to rethink everything I thought about modern 40 Smith & Wesson. Later in the video, I'm going to explain why one of these almost feels like an entirely different caliber compared to the old Glock 40s, even in the Gen 3s, pistols, and other manufacturers. Welcome back to Glockaholic 76, and don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, hit that like button. It helps us get seen by more people just like you. Today we are breaking down the Glock 22 Gen 5 MOS versus the Glock 23 Gen 5 MOS, two pistols that represent Glock's modern take on the legendary 40 Smith & Wesson platform. But here's the real question. Did Gen 5 perfect the 40 caliber in Glock, or did they make it worse? Most people today default immediately to your 9mm, right? You have your Glock 43X, or you got something like your Glock 19, and that's okay. These are softer shooting pistols. It's a softer shooting round, but the internet also likes to oversimplify everything, because I think what matters isn't just the caliber debate, how controllable it is. How confident are you with your follow-up shots, and how well does it perform under stress? Gen 5 Glock 40s do feel noticeably different than the older generations in some ways, which I'm going to get to in a moment. You do have the serrations on the front. You have got your marksman barrel, which is box says is going to give you better accuracy. You don't have those finger grooves for those who felt they were uncomfortable and their hand size didn't match the blueprint. If you wrote 40 Smith & Wesson off years ago, well, this video may surprise you, especially once we talk about the recoil in these pistols and the accuracy. Once you hit the range, these pistols aren't as bad. The Gen 5, I feel, is much different than some of the other ones. I originally bought the Glock 22 because I wanted to revisit the 40 platform with the modern Glock improvements. To be honest, some of the 40 calibers I've had in the past were your Smith & Wesson. I had the Performance Center Shield, all compact, all practical, but they were all definitely easier to carry than a Glock 22. I would take 40 down to the range. Sometimes you can get a good deal on 40 Smith & Wesson ammunition. So if I get a good bulk deal, I would take it to the range. Full disclosure, this is a 9mm conversion barrel. So I could take this to the range. I could shoot my 9. I could pop back in the 40 barrel, and I just can bring one pistol to the range and shoot both types of ammo, which is great for those that don't want to lug 40 pistols to the range. After putting several hundred rounds through both of these pistols, what 40 was has changed, especially in my mind. The Glock 22, it shoots noticeably flatter than the older versions, and maybe it's with the recoil spring, maybe it's because it's slightly bigger, feels a little bit calmer. Glock 23, don't think it's a whole lot different than your Glock 19 as far as your snap, as you hear people say, and I try not to call it snappiness, but it's got a little bit more power behind it. Obviously, it's in the 40 Smith & Wesson. The feel of the pistol itself, other than the finger grooves not being there compared to a Gen 4 version that I had of this, the shooting experience overall did feel the same. Now, it's true that some people are very, very recoil sensitive, and it's a real thing. It doesn't matter how big and strong you are, just depends on how the person absorbs that recoil, and some do and some don't. fundamentals help mitigate some of that. Training helps, but different people are impacted by recoil differently. One of the specific Gen 5 improvements that I think mattered way more than people ever even talked about, people don't really realize that the Gen 5 40 caliber Glocks use a slightly wider design compared to some of the earlier generations. That little bit extra mass does change the recoil characteristics more than people expect. And unlike the early 40 Smith & Wesson Glocks, these do feel more refined. In a few minutes, I'm going to tell you what I thought previously, and I think my answer is it surprised me, and it may surprise you. But we're going to hit the basics real quick. The Glock 22, this would be your standard Glock 22 magazine, and I have currently a 17 round plus base plate on here. I do a lot of practice shooting with the 9, and being this is a heavier barrel, it makes this a little bit lighter of a shooter at the range, which can only help. And I have the Glock 23 with the X grip. I have a 15 round Glock 22 in here. This is going to give you your standard 22 capacity in a Glock 23, so you get your full size and your compact capacity. However, the weight difference isn't really that much between the two. You do have a weapon light on this one. This is a Harbor Freight Braun 1000 light. It's just a basic light. It's a TLR1 clone. This pistol itself, unloaded, generally weighs around 25 ounces, where something like this is going to weigh probably 1.5 ounces less. The barrel on this is a 4.49, and this one is going to be your typical 4.02 inch barrel. So a little bit, not a whole lot of difference between the two. If you hold these side by side now, you're going to see the barrel is a little bit longer, but if I put these, let's see, back to back here, there's not a whole lot of difference in length. Height-wise, you're going to see some difference there, about 1 inch or so. One's a compact and one is a full size. Glock did well with the Gen 5 and really kind of changed the game. It was, for a lot of people, not everyone, but for a lot of people, the removal of these finger grooves alone made them fit people's hands better. Grip on the Glock 22. I do have the Hogue grip. Again, this is my range gun. Switch the barrels out often on these and put a lot of rounds through them downrange. So I have the Hogue grip on here just for overall comfort. I'm not going to carry it in this configuration. It's got weight, it's confidence inspiring, and the Glock 22, it's that more agile and more compact pistol that I do carry from time to time. Go back and forth between this and the Glock 19, and quite honestly, there's not a whole lot of difference for me. I'll just grab one or the other. I don't necessarily say, oh, I want to carry 9 or I want to carry 40. If these two are together, I'm just going to grab the one that's closer. The triggers on these, they're still unmistakably Glocks between the Gen 4 and Gen 3. My favorite trigger on Glock is always going to be the Gen 3. So the next Gen Glock will be better, who knows. The Holosun SCS MOS, it's a direct mount. I like these optics. I like Holosun. They've always been reliable. I've never had really any issues. This is a solar optic, a little bit narrower, this optic, though there's a little bit of a ridge here compared to, let's say, the Glock 19, where it's a lot smoother, because that is the difference. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that little bit there, that is the difference in width between the slides and the extra weight that I was talking about earlier. It's noticeable when you put that optic on there that this is just a little bit thicker. Where Glock Gen 5 changed the game, I know some folks complain about them. The MOS system gives a much more modern relevance to Glock. Being able to throw optics on here, this one has the 22. This is the RMR plate on here, the MOS RMR. This is a Gideon optic. I think this is the Omega from Gideon. This is another nice optic. And this is a little bit of a green dot, a big window, kind of your faux RMR. That's your Glock 23, and then that's your Holosun. So decent optics. Gideon, more of the budget line optics. They do a great job. I never had a real problem with them operationally. I think they work great. I'd love to get my hands and test some other ones. Improved internals on the Glock Gen 5 with the Marksman barrel. I think Glocks are probably more accurate than most people can shoot. Took this to the range and I was able to swap out this barrel, and I put, I had the 40 Smith & Wesson barrel in here. Very accurate, tight groups. Same flip compared to, let's say, the Glock 17, which I tend to shoot the compact better, 19 and 23, and with the exception, I guess you could say, of the Glock 45 are probably my top three. Glock 23 brings that balance, that concealability, with enough shootability to remain practical. The biggest pros of these pistols, Glock 22, best shooting full-size 40 experience I've ever had. The biggest con Glock 22 is just a larger footprint. It's, if you're going to carry something like this and it's not a duty pistol, you might as well carry the Glock 23. Gives you that little bit more thump. Gen 5 changes didn't really impress me when I first read about them. And then the addition of the ambi slide release, durations, marksman barrel, I wasn't really super impressed. It was just a Glock. There was just something different that we all do about the Glock triggers, whether they were just okay triggers and they worked reliably, but they were nothing to write home about. During dry firing, I noticed the slide release on the right side of the Gen 5 Glocks were affecting the trigger pull a lot. So I had broken down the pistol, and the trigger bar, which I ended up polishing, and I even buffed down the frame just a little bit to smooth it out, and it didn't help much. So I started to compare the Gen 5s to the Gen 3s and the Gen 4 trigger pull, and now the Gen 5s. And then I tested all of mine that I have, and this pistol's clear. And if you can see in that slide there, when you're pulling the trigger, here's the movement here, but there's a slight movement inside right there, okay? So when you hit the wall, that's the wall there on the trigger. When you hit the wall, the trigger bar has to get past, okay, so there's your wall on your Glock. Now, if you watch and you can see my finger moving on the trigger, there's that mush that comes right after that, right there. See that? That's it rubbing after the wall here. If you can really see that, I'm after the wall, and then it breaks. That is where a lot of grittiness or roughness will come from. Now, you can polish that down. You can do whatever you want with that. Once I started comparing that to the Gen 3s, the Gen 3s just don't have that. Not too many people talk about that enough. The Gen 3s allow you to stage your trigger, and on the Gen 3, the Gen 4, that mush does not exist. There's just not enough room inside the frame, and the trigger bar is rubbing on the ambi side release. So for me, it's just not good. Unless you deliberately look for third wall, as I'll call it, you can miss it. It will show up in your accuracy. And I noticed this when I was doing dry firing. I noticed my Gen 5 trigger pull was causing that little small speed bump. So here's your Gen 3. These pistols are all clear, by the way. But here's the wall, and then there's very little break on that Gen 3, right? There's very little break. It's just, look, there's the wall. Nice. And that's why I like the Gen 3 triggers, because here's the same thing. Comparison, and then look. And there's that. Look at that. Now that I know that, I can't unsee that or unfeel that with the Gen 5s. And for me, it changed the personality of the Gen 5 platform. The Gen 3 trigger is so much better, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that agree with me. But once you start realizing that little mush that's there, you can't unsee it. The 40 Smith & Wesson just deserves way more respect than it's getting today. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more of Glockaholic 76, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you like this video, like it. If you didn't, don't. But either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you still trust the 40 Smith & Wesson? If it was between the 22 and the 23, which one would you be choosing? As always, I appreciate you watching my videos. Train smart, shoot often, stay ready. Glockaholic 76. Talk to you soon.